I have come for the Destroyer.
My brother spoke of your coming, but a powerful curse holds me now. I cannot help you.
Any curse can be broken.
Yes, perhaps. These servants of the Destroyer walk unseen within the realm of shadow. By their blood we are bound. By their blood shall we be free.
I can no longer move within the Shadow Realm. Much of my power has left me.
You need not enter it. I will grant you the power to see into the accursed realm for a time. But to what end? What hope have we now against the Destroyer's foul sorcery?
Hope will not bring you freedom.
Yes.
So Shell was kind of mimicking the...
Find where these shadow lurkers hide and kill them all. They can't be that hard to find.
This is the challenge mode thing that I was
Yeah,
confused about.
I was hearing the voice in my head and figuring out that he had to be over accentuating what his lips were doing because he sort of sound muffled. Like I mean, if you think about it, those golems are... They have those, like, stony lips that are close together and potentially grinding.
Yep.
So,
oh, you were talking about the Stone Man.
Yeah.
I was going to actually reference, if you notice War's, like, lip syncing is really weird. Sometimes he'll be talking, but, like, his lips aren't quite moving right. 40 enemies
he's one of the few characters that actually has lips, if you think about it.
It's true. But, so,
Surely this is no challenge for the likes of you.
come on.
Because if you notice, even Mark Hamill's Watcher character, he has a jaw. He has cheekbones, but there's nothing in between. It's just skin.
Stop running away from me.
But I still like the fact that the
Okay,
face at
fine.
least moves while he's talking, because it gives the character some kind of expression while he's talking. It would sort of be weird if a character was talking and there was no movement.
But so, I just want to finish my thought on War and his lip syncing.
No.
So the reason why War's lip sync might seem so weird is because it's not actually mocapped.
Mm-hmm. This is before mocapping, at least.
No.
Was used
Mocapping
prevalently.
was a thing. It was just expensive. So instead, it's just an animator trying very hard to get the lip sync correct, I believe.
Back in the days of 2D animation, at least not anime, it would be for, say, Disney productions, I believe the voice acting, did it occur like while the storyboards were done, but before the actual animation was done? Because the animators would often use the gestures and the recordings of the actors in order to figure out facial animations and the lip syncing. So that's why it always seems fluid in those films. It's because they're actually referring to the footage they had of the actors for their animations. And then with anime, though, you don't really see much for lip syncing because it's just the open mouth, closed mouth, open mouth, closed mouth.
Yeah. They're getting better with it, though.
Well, the thing is, it would look awkward for translation.
Excellent.
Gross.
An eye door, an eye barrier.
Bleed for me, eyeball. That's a bunch of that. That's a bunch of
But if you think about it, it makes dubbing easier.
Much, yeah.
I suppose the only thing you'd have to worry about with a dub... Oh, cutscene again?
Nope.
Okay.
Just showing
the only
you
thing
those
you'd
going
have to
away.
worry about with a dub is if the syllables line up. I think actually one of the more arduous points of creating a dub or translation of an anime is that you have to be able to get across the same meaning of the lines, but with the prerequisite amount of syllables that the characters are
See,
actually
I love it
employing.
when they... I love it when they don't bother to line it all up.
Oh.
You know, the like, I will defeat you. And like, you see the mouth moving for like a little while, or kind of the reverse where it's like...
They
you
say
see the
more
mouth,
than what the mouth says.
Yeah, so the mouth will move like twice, and the voice will keep going. Like, I love that. It's so fun. It's so bad, but like, I don't know. I live for kind of jank like that.
I actually,
as long as it's not like terrible.
An anime that I've seen where they couldn't quite get a proper translation with it, what they did was they actually made the English sentences a little bit nonsensical in order to match it. Huh?
Oh, sorry. Venomous, before health decrease, bonus souls. Gotcha. We need to do a watching night of, was it Ghost Stories? I think it was like the Ghost Stories anime.
Ghost Stories?
An anime so bad and so like poorly so bad and poorly made that the English release was literally just the people in charge were effectively just like, say whatever you want. They gave them no notes. They didn't even like bother to translate it. Effectively, the
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
But they should have at least had a character outline and.
Nope. So it's like
what was going on in the story.
It's kind of almost famous for how bad it was because effectively there was nothing. And so like you have people just saying insane stuff as though it's normal. And
Wait a minute. Ghost Stories.
I think it was Ghost Stories.
Wait. I think I would see ads for it in Shonen Jump or the old magazines that I used to have.
Possibly.
Did it have some sort of Buddhist monk-looking guy with a long beard and elongated?
No. I think it was. I think each episode was like standalone.
Oh, okay. This was a movie. But I think it was called Ghost Story.
I mean, they could be associated. I could be wrong, but every once in a while I'll look up like clips from Ghost Stories. I'm just like, this can't be real. Spoilers, it's real. And like, I bet we could get away with doing like a Twitch watch night with something that old and bad and like uncaring. I think the entirety of it is on YouTube. So like, worst comes to worst, we just stream us doing the face cam.
Oh, this is the one that I'm thinking of. A Chinese ghost story.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about this boy, and he enters a realm of demons and monks, and I think his conflict was he was being taken by the dark, or he was killed, or he needed to find a way to restore his spirit, or I forget. It's from 1997 apparently. But I just remember seeing the artwork for it. I was like, wow, this is interesting.
Oh. Gotta get out of the way of that.
Now, are you being affected by poison currently?
Yeah. No, this is a,
It's timed in a way.
This is a, win before you run out of or, not win, but you are constantly losing health.
Yes.
So kill everything before you get, clobbernutted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
40 out of 50.
We have an endless amount of enemies.
Yeah, I think you just have to collect enough souls, or...
I gotta kill one more dude, but I'm gonna get a little bit of health here.
Whoa, that was lucky that he didn't attack you from behind.
Nope. I don't think you can actually,
Get attacked while you're opening up chests.
Yep. Oop. I think you were totally invincible. You get any souls? No. I get some. That's a bunch, actually. But yeah, you get extra souls based on how much health you have.
I love how
remaining.
frightened it becomes when it... No, the end is nigh.
I still had 2 health chests I never opened up. Probably could have, maybe. So we want to actually go... I think we want to go shopping, if it'll let me.
Huh.
I think it'll let me even while we're here.
Those were taxis and police vehicles.
Yep.
I wonder if this is supposed to be akin to a Central Park in a way.
Yeah, this is like kind of fake Chicago or fake...
You are as wise as you are powerful.
Oh, generates wrath over time.
Only alive there.
We actually do want to pick that one up.
I said 9, not 9.
What would you like?
Okay.
Fans are funny.
How do we do this? Weapon forge enhancements. Oh. I'll just put it in there. Yeah, so we've got... Oh, yeah, I think you could even tell the sword's kind of like burning-ish. That,
the eyeballs are glowing.
Yeah, so I just put in the enhancement that increases the damage. Not exactly very good, but...
What's that pillar of light?
That's another one of the challenges. There's 4 challenges to do. So this is to kind of teach us about the shadow challenges. Eventually we get the ability to just kind of find these out in the open world, but they're giving us 4. Kind of for easy-ish resources and other things. Anywho, hello. What am I fighting now? Trade in the artifacts. I'll do it when I have something to buy. Okay.
The gory end. Smaller, weaker enemies can be instantly killed at any time. Larger creatures must be stunned before they can be slain, and use B to instantly kill a smaller stunned creature. Creature.
So we gotta kill 30 creatures this way.
Looks like it's death from above.
Nah.
Batlings.
Whoop. Not death from above, it's death from me.
Let's see if you can get them all without touching the ground.
Hopscotch!
Oh, that one's going to be more difficult to jump to. No, you got it.
I should get bonus points for
killing all of them up in the air.
There we go.
That should be an achievement.
High flyer. It was, in fact.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, you missed that one.
I didn't know he had spawned in yet.
Nah, that's true.
But he's like the last of them.
So, you got an achievement when? Before the battle or after you had been killing enemies?
When I was jumping to the second to last the last one in the chain, it said high flyer. I think it's like stay in the air for longer than like X amount of time, which is something I apparently hadn't done in our first playthrough. Oh wait, no, never mind. I actually have no idea how many achievements.
How could you have acquired achievements in your first playthrough if you weren't playing on the PC?
I was playing on the PC.
You were?
Yeah, I had it on Steam. The main thing was, so there's a difference between the, I guess, part of the, back to the history lesson for this game. Okay, so Darksiders and Vigil was kind of in limbo for forever. And I was really worried because I was like, I really want this series to continue. They were fantastic games, and I really enjoyed them. And so eventually, Nordic Entertainment picked up like a bunch of old THQ products, probably because they were dirt cheap.
And then they also renamed themselves Nordic THQ.
Yeah, and renamed themselves THQ Nordic. Probably for branding purposes and otherwise, you know, more or less really just like drive home that they are the successor to THQ, which I'm actually really happy with. because obviously, it meant that they were actually going to come out with like a, well, they were going to start trying to like unify the product line a little bit. And so, specifically, there's the death, like, why are you looking at me?
I'm doing that every time you say,
Look! I'm fighting! You want to take the controller so I can finish talking? Let's see how you do.
You seemed pretty articulate right then.
I'm trying! But it's hot. It's tough. There's two of these guys. These guys can two-shot me. Anyway,
Flaming fists?
yeah, so they came out with like a kind of a remastered version of Darksiders 2, which really didn't take too much effort. Because for the most part... You do that, I'm gonna start poking you. In the face.
I always knew you had it in you.
Anyway, so they kind of remastered Darksiders 2. I'm trying to remember. It was like a dumb kind of punny-ish title, but I don't remember the name of it.
Why was there a punny title for
Because
Darksiders?
well, I mean, it's
2?
like, this is the Darksiders 1 Warmastered edition. You know, instead of remastered. But it was Definitive edition.
Definitive?
Yes, I don't even know.
Definitive?
I don't even know what they had actually specifically like done to change it. This one they just made it like much nicer looking, because it definitely didn't look this nice. But so I think they handed that out to practically everybody. It was like a free thing. You could just like opt in, and you could also, if you owned the previous versions, you get it. And they handed it out to a bunch of people for like PS4 Plus or PS Plus or whatever, and it was just like everybody suddenly had Darksiders 2. Okay, focus on enemies, launch enemies in the air, 5 enemies using aerial combos within the time limit. This'll be interesting. Yeah, please don't make an counter.
On top of the death counter?
It would be very difficult. Like, deaths don't happen very often, but I say not infrequently.
It occurs several instances in a minute, I'd say. I thought that was one of the first critiques I ever had for you as a YouTuber long ago.
Yeah, but it is my...
And you had
Would you
staved it
prefer
off.
I take the Samuel L. Jackson approach and replace it with motherfucker?
No.
Because I could.
Don't you say that on the air.
But like,
I mean, I suppose this is a mature game, correct?
yeah.
Is this considered mature or is it teen?
Oh, so now I have block counter.
Block counter.
I didn't have it until
I
now.
always knew you had it in you.
That was fast. So the trick is, what you do is you effectively get them low on the ground and then you knock them up into the ground. But no, it's really hard to get rid of a verbal tick, especially when your brain is trying to catch up. And it's gonna take my entire YouTube career. Like, you can claim all you want that it's really easy, but if I'm in the middle of like combat, I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, or I'm really stuck between both.
It can be discombobulating and your thoughts are parted by concentration.
Yeah, so the more I have to focus on what I'm doing, the more I'm gonna say, or if I can't think of something in the middle, because it's just filler.
Ancestors praise you.
They have weird diapers.
I don't know what that underridge was.
Enhancement increases wars damage
Ravager.
with environmental weapon attacks. That's probably like chucking cars and stuff. Maybe.
So those gatekeepers, they were placed there against their will? They don't seem to want to be
So
stagnant.
they're kind of a neutral-ish party compared to
they
the
were
demons.
enslaved.
Yes.
By the demons, apparently.
Yeah, so the
Now, how is this destroyer different than the Prince of Darkness?
So Prince of Darkness is Satan.
Yes.
The destroyer was Remember that guy that was chucking cars at us at the beginning of the tutorial?
Yes, the one that you
That's
poked
the
the eye
destroyer.
out of. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. I was like, why am I not, like, bat murdering these guys? The answer is, I wasn't bat murdering because there was a car in my hands. Destroyer was someone else too. Really? I thought it was the big guy in the lava. I guess I could be wrong. Oh no, Destroyer was the guy with the no, that was Abaddon. That was the yeah, you're right. I don't remember.
I thought Abaddon, didn't they make Abaddon an angel in this? Which I find...
Yeah, but there was also like a horned... There's a horned demon that showed up for a little bit that was fighting Abaddon. But yeah, no, the tower was the guy that we fought. There's a lot of characters to keep
I thought they
track of.
specifically said that if it wasn't the Destroyer...
Yeah, Abaddon
that
was the
crushed
angel. Uriel was the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get there till later. Way later, if I remember right.
It's interesting, but in a lot of the old lore, angels were all male, I think. And I think it wasn't until the Baroque period...
I think that's just because the Bible is sexist.
I think it wasn't until the Baroque period that you started having female angels depicted, much at all. Actually, have you ever seen the... I mean, first off, you know what cherubs are and the like, but have you ever seen those weird angels that are literally just heads with wings all over them?
Yeah, seraphim, sort of.
Yeah, I think they're called the seraphim. Creepy. So
Yeah.
creepy.
For whatever reason, manga is a very good source of, like... Look at all these, like, biblical things that you kind of probably forgot about or never knew about.
Think about it. Why do you think, I suppose you would call them Western cultures, why are they so fascinated by the East or by...
Well, so
it's because they don't...
It's fantasy.
It's fantasy to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have that many people, like, screaming bloody murder because...
You're ruining the Bible. This is sacrilege heresy.
I don't know. I take it all in stride, but then again, I don't know.
So, what manga or anime you're referring to that had seraphim of that nature in it?
I don't know. I'm thinking of specifically. What was the name of it? D. Gray Man.
Oh, I've actually never read D. Gray Man.
It was a fantastic manga, fantastic anime that suddenly just went on super hiatus, and I've never been terribly interested in trying to pick it back up again because I think it's still on super hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I remember learning a lot about Japanese mythology from Inuyasha, specifically when it comes to heads with wings on them. Did you ever see the harpies in that series?
Nope.
They... Okay. Imagine a giant ball with feet, wings, the upper torso of a beautiful lady, but it's sort of hanging a little bit limply at times, though, and it has just a gaping maw of teeth. But then also, the main body has a gaping maw and row of teeth. So it literally has two mouths.
Gross.
One's the whole body, and the other one's on the face of the half-naked woman on top of it. Inuyasha showed a lot of boobs. I always skipped those pages when I was in 7th grade. Nope, nope, nope.
What is this?
Hmm?
Oh, I can't alt-tab. Right. I doubly can't alt-tab. This game gets really weird about alt-tabbing. I'll have to take a look at that later. I don't know. Pyro's sending me a link. But no, if I touch my keyboard at all, for whatever the reason, the game totally forgets that I have a, controller plugged in, and it's like, you want to use keyboard commands? Well, here you go. And I'm like, not really.
It's one of those systems where it recognizes one and then it disables the other.
Yeah.
One thing I always marvel about are how horned creatures able to sleep. Have you ever wondered that?
I don't think these guys probably do.
No, demons probably wouldn't. But if you think of fauns or tieflings or characters that have those curled horns especially, that sort of get tucked behind your ears, how would you lay down in a pillow? You'd have to have an immensely soft pillow, and I would think you would have to sleep on the back of your head only, and you couldn't ever roll over onto the side. It would be terrible.
I think I've seen manga about that.
Manga about that?
So,
Or they bring it up in conversation?
there's a gaff for... there's a manga for every gaff. So I think it was like a guy living with like a succubus or a demon or a who knows what, but...
You read too many...
Yes, I do.
Too many manga.
It's because sometimes I'm hoping it'll be good. Most of the time it's like, hey, this looks decent. Oh, this man now has 7 wives.
He reads them on Reddit, and it seems like he can read the next... I think it's translated chapters. Reads the next chapter for at least a dozen series on a daily basis. I can look at his screen and go, who are these characters? Who's this artist? What is this series? And it's always a different one.
There's a lot of manga out there. Some of it's really good. Much of it is
whatever
garbage.
happened to the spider girl? That literally looked like a spider.
Kumo Jessica Nanaka? Mm-hmm. That's still going on. It's a light novel that's being turned into a manga, and I think the manga is pretty popular. The light novel, I think, is extremely popular. That one's fantastic. I stopped reading it though because it switched translators and
the new translation was bad.
Well, no, it's just it took like a month.
Do you notice you always cut those guys off at the kneecap?
Yes. So they can't chase me. But so the translator was effectively like, yeah, I was doing this as a hobby project, and you know, people like actually are invested in this and like want me to keep going with it, and I can't, you know, keep up with the demand, so I gotta stop.
Do they translate it because it would take months or years for it to have an audience in the United States to be printed here?
Oftentimes might never receive like a American release.
True, it always seems like something has to be made into an anime first before it gets translated and brought to the United States.
But so a lot of these people translate it not necessarily as a service for other people, but well, to some degree they do. But in a lot of cases it's because they want to practice their English or Japanese skills, depending which direction they're going. You do run into a lot of people that just straight up start
well, there's also an artistry to it. You can't necessarily literally translate it because sometimes the meaning...
there's a huge row against machine translation. I think we actually do go that direction someday, but I don't remember when.
It's because sometimes you can substitute better words or sentence structures in order to make something more natural. Yep.
No, it's not that every word
knowing
can be switched out. I don't know.
Several synonyms for a descriptor is beneficial.
Yep.
Just in so many respects. It's quite the arm blades. Demons are quite fond of chains, are they not?
Yep.
Ah, is this a section in which you're supposed to get closer to him, or is he going to come to you? Looks like...
Oh, this is the counter block.
Oh, so you need to hit the projectiles back at him?
Yeah. Or not.
Well, he's come to you. Now I'm gazing a little too intently.
Okay, let's try that again.
He has nipple rings. Or a
Damn it.
nipple ring.
He's got like a really long pullback.
You let that second claw come down on you.
I think I actually countered it. Yeah, that like first pullback on the swing is tough. God damn it.
OP. Aw.
Wow.
Woohoo.
Gross.
Ooh, and broke his neck.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot
After
of stuff
severing
back.
his claws.
I was expecting he'd have more HP for... Well, no, I guess that was just an enemy introduction. But no. But yeah, the counter blocks are kind of tough to pull off. Because he kind of pulled back and then move forward a little bit and then go. And it's like, oh, you fake out.
I would think arm blades are inefficient weapons. I know I had one for a character that I cosplayed as that was actually one of my own characters for a unused play, I suppose that was what we could call it. My friends and I wanted to create our own live action movie with magic and drama and fanciful creatures, and I was the fanciful creature ish. I was a creature that always bore a fanged mask and had horns and the really cool sort of predator dreadlock things. Tendrils? I don't know what you would call those kinds of tresses that they have. And a tail. And
I've just seen better days.
what? Dark scaly skin. He was awesome, and he wore like leather armor and tattered robes. And I made this full costume. You saw me in this costume. It's an awesome costume. And I decided to scavenge my old lightsaber blades from not necessarily Star Wars lightsabers, but from the carnival lightsabers. You know, the retractable blades that you would get at the circus or a carnival, where it was always yellow, pink, white, and green in the transition. And it would have a yellow flashlight handle with orange around the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, they had started severing or splitting close to the base where the flashlight met the blade. So I decided to just cut them off entirely, paint them silver, equip them into these leather gauntlets that I made. Well, faux leather gauntlets. And ooh, angels.
Time to deal with these jerks. It's interesting how the angels in this one are...
It's nothing. Some demon trick.
I know what I saw.
He's right.
Uriel.
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, Angel. From neither the White City nor the Black Depths, something lost between. Hellgod, to arms!
Slay him!
Is this where you learn mounted combat?
Sorta. There's a rail shooter segment for whatever reason. Okay.
Angelic mount. Press the right trigger to shoot.
Let's see if I can... Nope. Dang.
You're just gonna have to use the controller here.
Yeah, I was really hoping I could use
I
keyboard
never
and mouse for
liked
this one.
controller aiming.
No, I don't like it either. But yeah, this is randomly a, this is randomly like a rail shooter segment as you run away kind of slowly. I don't remember how to actually... Oh.
Don't let them get too close or they're gonna fire on you.
Yeah. I'll be fine. It's fairly forgiving from what I remember. I think there's another rail shooter segment at a later point that is actually, like, infuriating. But I don't remember. There's only like 1 or 2 in the game. And I cannot tell you why. They should have zoomed in further. Like, half the time the enemies are, like, directly behind War, and it's just like, well, this sucks. There's a demon that just wanted to kind of in on it down there. And he's like, ah!
Maybe a bunch of goons down there.
And later we actually fight these guys, like, mano a mano.
Is that a heavy? He has a Gatling or something, or a large
it's like
rifle?
a homing rocket launcher cannon
Rocket
thing.
launcher.
Yeah, I don't think those are actually coming for me. Yeah, those guys suck. They hurt. They hurt real bad.
Hey, recognize that guy.
I don't know if I killed him. Yeah, well, it's not the same guy. It's just kind of a guy.
Apartment building or something. Ooh.
How many demons or angels can I shoot at the same time? Actually, I don't think they were targetable at first.
Here. Do you need to scratch something? You're only aiming with one hand.
Elbow is, well, this is entirely a right-handed ordeal. Ow. I guess I'm supposed to... Oh, jeez. This is excessive.
Yeah, those are projectiles.
Yeah, you can shoot them out of the sky. Ow.
Yep, because they will land.
I think this is why I don't like these guys. It is hard. It is... Okay, no, this is the one that I hated. I think we're almost done, though.
But you're almost dead, too.
Oh, there's some.
No, you got health.
Yeah, I had to kill some bats as they went by.
Hey, is that one of our friends?
Yep, he's just kind of hanging out shooting. I really don't know how I'm supposed to, like, hit half these things.
Golem.
I think you're just... I don't even know if you're supposed to kill these guys. Yeah, they're not even targetable. But we're about to go where we need to go. Oh. Freaking I can move.
With the other stick?
Yeah, I can move with my stick.
You could have maneuvered around those fireballs.
I could have dodged a lot.
Ah, imps.
Well, it's fine.
And are the red ones more potent than the green ones?
Dunno.
The golems seem to be able to take care of themselves.
I think those are actually like bats. I
No,
could be wrong.
Oh, bats? No, I thought they were imps. These little guys.
Maybe. No, I don't know.
These, however, are much larger. What are they?
These are like harpy things. This would be much easier if I had keyboard mouse.
Fire-breathing bats?
Okay, at least I can dodge now, so I should be able to get my HP back, no problem. Just homing shots and run. Fortunately, it takes 2 homing shots to kill these guys sometimes. Or multiple more, I don't know, it's kind of unclear.
Oh, there's spikes emerging from the magma.
Yeah, so you can't stay too low. Yeep. Wow! I forgot how freaking long this section was. It's excessive. Like, there's a lot from this game that I've like totally blanked on. I remember a lot of the major like plot points, but there's a lot that just gets lost entirely in translation.
Mm-hmm. It's why I think there's definitely an aspect of replayability if you haven't played a game in, say, 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
There's only so much knowledge one can retain, you would think. And surely not every second or every instant is recalled.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of those where I'm like, man, where did this come from at the time? I think it's so out of place, it's hard to remember because you're just like, huh? It's actually
I like that the demons' bodies are turned to ash or they burn from the inside out. It makes sense for them. You know how in games where creatures spontaneously dissolve after death and it doesn't make any sense because they're, say, a natural creature or something that isn't mystical
games do that
nature.
just so you don't have to render the corpse.
But it makes sense for demons because they seem to have flames in their interiors and they spew it out.
Let's see. Trying very hard not to get toasted. Toasty, roasty. Because, yeah, we've got at least a couple more groups of dudes that want to bite my butt. And I prefer my butt unbitten. Okay. We done? Nah, we can't be... We can't be done. We're never done. At least it's good, it's good farming time.
Are these caverns all underneath the city? Or
Yeah.
are they
Oh, yeah. I think some of these caves we've actually, like, we walk through at a later date. I don't think I have anything I can do here. Hey, they did die. Cool.
I always loved the use of that. I don't forget what particular flute it's called.
And there's the cathedral.
Oh. Whoa.
Hi.
Not good, not good.
That, I believe. I don't know if that's the boss and the mid-boss or... Anywho. Thank you, bird buddy. I will miss you.
I assume? Guess she wasn't up for having visitors today.
That bat creature was Tiamat?
Yep. Yeah, that was the bat queen boss that we're supposed to kill.
Now, Tiamat sounds familiar, like
Tiamat
the prismatic
is
dragon
the
queen.
prismatic dragon queen from Dungeons and Dragons lore.
But I think Tiamat might have even older origins.
It might.
It might actually
But the
be...
popularized one that I know of is Dungeons and Dragons 100%.
I'll see if Tiamat actually has any historical and mythological origins instead. Yeah, this is ancient. We're going ancient. In the religion of ancient Babylon, Tiamat is the primordial goddess of the salt sea, mating with Abzu, the god of fresh water. And it's funny because Abzu is the title of, well,
that game.
Abzu.
Oh, you like that?
I suppose they are mixing a lot of Babylonian lore in as well.
See anything you like? Oh, don't forget over here.
You know what? I think I'm gonna save up for this.
What would you ask?
While we're
of
at
this
it,
home?
I'm gonna look up some of the other critters
Names that we've heard so far.
Yeah, I want to see what their true origins are. Yeah,
Uriel?
well, no, I know who Uriel is.
Urkiel?
I'm looking up at Samael right now. The venom of God, poison, blindness, archangel in the Talmudic and post-Talmudic lore.
Can I
Is
save?
an accuser,
Data.
seducer,
Holy crap, I
and
haven't saved this
destroyer.
game yet. That's a bad...
Has been regarded as both good and evil.
That was a bad thing. Alright, you can level the weapons up. I think they go up to level 4. Plus well, I mean, for the most part, I think I'm going to be using the sword anyway. Okay. Do we want to just call this a good stopping point, actually? Do we want to call this a good stopping point? I think it is.
I suppose. So, I would
'Cause this
consider Tiamat to be one of the first boss battles.
Well, yeah,
correct?
there's 6 or 7 boss battles in this game.
Are you
There's
sure
a
you don't
little bit
want
more
to?
than
Is this
that.
a dungeon?
Yes. We're outside the first real dungeon.
I suppose
Everything
it's after 2.
Yeah,
so-
everything before now has been, Everything before now has entirely just been like preamble to get here. I think we'd be able to get through this in like less than an hour, but I'm
It'd be
tired.
late.